I'm Killer Nacho, and Magikarp is my anti-drug. Hey guys, this is TheKillerNacho again, and I'm having a battle here with Gohan. And, yeah, we both have Heart Gold, Soul Silver, as you can see, which is kind of cool, but, that's just a side note. Anyway, I lead with Aerodactyl, he leads with Roserod. I'm going to set up Stealth Rock's first turn, because I thought he predicted Taunt or something, but instead he goes for the, Sleep Powder, which is bad for me. So I go into Miss Magus, pretty much, to get up a sub, because I don't know that, lead Roserade can do anything to me. But he goes for the Leaf Storm. That'll break my sub, but it'll lower his special attack by 2 stages, which is pretty nice. And I'll be able to set it up again, because he's probably not going to stay in now, and he goes out into his Machamp. And looking at my team, I really don't have a counter to Machamp, and this is going to be a big problem for me. So I just go for the Shadow Ball, because I just want to get damage on this thing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be able to break the sub with its secondary move after Dynamic Punch, but it has Payback, which really hurts Miss Magus, obviously, because it's super effective, and that's not too good for me. I'm just going to try to sub up once here, hopefully, like, I was kind of hoping he'd switch into Dynamic Punch to give me a free sub, predicting a switch, but he doesn't. He just goes for the Payback again. That's going to break my sub, and that's really bad. But now I'm pretty confident that he's just going to keep using Payback. No reason to overpredict, right? So I decided to go out into Quagsire, because I know Quagsire can take a Payback. So he goes for the Payback. Quagsire takes it pretty nicely, and I really want to get this thing Toxicked, because even if it is a rest-talking Machamp, I'd rather it be asleep than not being asleep, so I kind of need to force the sleep somehow. So he goes for the Dynamic Punch, and I knew that was coming, and it's going to confuse me, so I'm just hoping I can set up the Toxic, but I hurt myself in my confusion. I'm like, damn it. But luckily for me, he goes for the Bulk Up, so this isn't even a rest-talking Machamp at all. This is a Bulk Up Machamp, and as soon as I see the Bulk Up, I feel a little better about life, because I know it can't heal from the Toxic I'm able to set up on it, and thank God I didn't hurt myself in my confusion twice in a row, because that would have sucked. But now that I did set the Toxic on it, and I know it can't rest because it has Bulk Up, that means it probably doesn't have rest. And he goes for the Payback to finish off Quagsire, but now I feel a little better about life because I know it won't be able to sweep my team. So, yeah. So he takes the, I think, second turn of Poison there. I go into Miss Magus, and I do the only thing I really can do, and that's Toxic Stall. And I actually play it pretty nicely here. I'm just going to set up the sub, because I can set up 2 subs at this point after leftovers. I'm just going to set up 2 subs. That'll be 2 more Toxic hits on his Machamp. And, that's going to be, racking up some nice damage pretty soon with Toxic. And I go for the sub again. He goes for the Payback again to break my sub. And I'm thinking that the third move on this Machamp is Stone Edge, because that's what most of them have, most bulk up Machamps. So I think, he's either going to use that, or Stone Edge, or Payback here, so I decided to go into Lucario, who X4 resists both of them. And he just goes for the Payback, so still not over-predicting. And, yeah, that doesn't do anything to Lucario, it's due to the X4 resistance. Thank you, Lucario. And now I'm figuring, well, the only thing he can do is Dynamic Punch if he has Stone Edge and Payback, so I'll go into Miss Magus again. And he does go for the Dynamic Punch, which is really epic for me, and I just played that pretty nicely, and I took out a Machamp using simple Toxic stalling tactics, when really my team had no Machamp counter. So that was just crucial for me. So it goes out into Metagross, and I instantly think it's going to be an Agilagross, because that's what I assume nowadays. But unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do except hit it for as much damage as I can with Shadow Ball. And he's just going to go for the Thunder Punch, since it has 100% accuracy. I guess he doesn't want to risk the Meteor Mash, and that really sucks because it takes out Miss Magus. And he goes for the Thunder Punch on Dragonite instead of Meteor Mash, I guess because he just doesn't want to risk it, but that's one of those times you have to risk it, man. I'm able to finish off the Metagross with Earthquake. And I don't know if Meteor Mash would have killed me anyway, but it still would have done a lot more damage. So he goes out into Starmie to scare me away, because I was kind of predicting a Ice Beam, but he actually takes this time, because he predicts the switch, to Rapid Spin, and that's going to blow away my Stealth Rocks, which isn't good, because he's able to go into a Dragonite of his own now. and obviously I would have liked to get Stealth Rock damage on that, but I'm not able to. So I go for the Curse on the switch because I thought he would switch because it's stupid to leave a Starmie in against a Snorlax. And he does switch. And I'm not too afraid. I'm just going to go for the Body Slam, hoping for the Parahacks and get pretty nice damage. And he actually goes for the Aqua Tail and does about half to me. And I'm actually pretty surprised by that it did that much. So I'm actually thinking that this Dragonite is Choice Banded. Because, you know, Aqua Tail is a neutral hit coming from Dragonite. And I do have a Curse up, so I was pretty surprised that it was doing this much. And it's going to be a 3-hit KO on me. Body Slam isn't a 3-hit KO or 2-hit KO either, but I actually didn't want to 2-hit KO this thing because I think he's locked into Aqua Jet. I decide to go on that instinct, go into my own Dragonite, and Dragon Dance once. And the reason I Dragon Dance is so I'm faster, and now I can Roost to get my health all the way back because I thought he was banded, and it looks like he is, so I know he's locked in Aqua Tail. I'm just going to Dragon Dance once, become faster than it, and then Roost to stall him out. So, yeah, I go for the second Dragon Dance because I just want to set up on this guy. And he goes for the Aqua Tail here, hits me back down to about a quarter, but now I'm going to be able to Roost, and with 2 Dragon Dances, I mean, this is looking pretty nice for me. He keeps going for the Aqua Tail because he's locked into it. I guess he doesn't want to switch, and that's just that sucks for him. So I go for the Roost here, and I get full health, and he misses this Aqua Tail, which kind of helped, because it gives me a third Dragon Dance. And the only reason I go for the third one is because I'm kind of afraid he might have a fast Choice Scarfer, and I just don't want to risk that, so I just want to get the sweep off right now. So I finish this thing off with Dragon Claw now. No reason to keep it alive anymore. He goes into Yan Mega, and I thought he'd protect to get the speed boost, so I decided to Roost. But instead, this is a substituting Yan Mega, so he just sets up the sub on me, which is kind of whatever. I'm just going to break it, and he uses Bug Buzz, and this is actually a bulky Dragon Dance Dragonite. That's a mouthful. So, he has good special defense anyway, so I didn't think he'd be able to do too much. I mean, he goes for the Bug Buzz, so I'm really not afraid of it at all anymore, because for some reason, he doesn't have Air Slash, I guess. So I go for the Dragon Claw, take out a Starmie. I mean, he goes into Yan Mega, and I'm just going to Dragon Claw it now and kill it. And I guess that was just kind of desperation there. I mean, he really couldn't do anything to a +3/+3 Dragonite. So he goes out into Roserade and just runs, realizing he can't win. So great game, Gohan. Rate, comment, subscribe. Hey guys, today's question of the day is, what is your favorite entry hazard move in Pokemon? My opponent used Toxic Spikes, as you might have noticed. I used Stealth Rocks. Generally, Stealth Rocks is considered the best competitively, but there are a lot of reasons to use the other ones too. For example, when you set up 3 layers of spikes, I mean, it does 25% to all incoming Pokemon that are not flying, and levitating. So Spikes is good because you can set up more and more damage depending on how many layers you set up. Toxic Spikes are good because it toxics you upon switching, and if you put 2 up, it'll toxic you. If you put 1 up, it'll only poison you. But as for my favorite, I'd probably have to go Toxic Spikes. I don't use them a whole lot, mainly because there's not a lot of Pokemon that can use them. But they are really useful, especially taking out tanks and stuff. Obviously, one of the best competitive moves in the game is Stealth Rocks, because it's only a 1-turn investment. Something I hope it gets changed. But leave a comment about your favorite, not necessarily best, because in the best, I think it's going to be Stealth Rocks. But what is your favorite entry hazard move? And which one do you hate fighting the most? Anyway, leave a comment about that, and rate, comment, subscribe.